Hi, today I'm going to show you how I use the Salesforce Schema Builder to create objects. Now, typically what I do is I lay out all my field labels, my API names, my data types and sizes ahead of time, and it's simply an exercise of cut and paste once I get into the Schema Builder. And I've got my field labels, like I said, API names, data types, and sizes, all laid out. Notice that my API names are lowercase. And I'll also have highlighted this data type called geolocation. It's not available within the schema builder. So what we're going to do is save the object, and then we're going to come back and add that location called or geolocation type. One other thing you might notice is that I have the field sizes for my text boxes, and this number 9 for the geolocation is actually the decimal places that we're going to use for our geolocation. Okay? So do this is very important before you get into the schema builder. So here we are, we're in the schema builder. On the left-hand side, tab called elements. We're going to go ahead and grab an object and drop it onto the canvas. We're going to label this event. And the pro label, of course, is going to be events. And we'll say it's a vowel sound. The object name is going to be event. And let's type in a description real quick here. We'll call it object to store events. Okay. I'll keep the default record name and data type as text. And I'll allow some reporting, allow some activities, and track field history, and click on save. Okay, great. Now let's go ahead and drag some of the fields on the left side. Let's grab a text field, drag it onto our object, and we'll call this description. Okay. Next, we're going to drag a text field and call this address 1. And this is going to go very fast. It's actually kind of boring to do all this cutting and pasting. But like I said, having your fields already defined ahead of time makes a world of difference, because all you're going to be doing is cutting and pasting into these fields. Click on save. And let's grab another text box. Call this state. So we did city, state. Let's grab a country or postal code. Okay, great. And country. Don't forget country. Okay, click on save. We are almost done. Let's grab some more fields here. We'll call this building. I'll have to capitalize that. Oops. All right, great. Next. Call this room. And let's put a date in here and call it start date. Okay, click on save. Let's go grab another date field. We'll call this the end date. All right. Let's grab another text field. Call this time zone. Let's keep track of that. Click on save. Grab another text field. Call this title. Checkbox. Call it is active. Click on save. And now what we're going to do is we're done here. So let's view the object properties one last time. Yep, they haven't changed. That's great. Click on save. Now let's click on view page layout. So here we are at the page, the object screen here. What I'm going to do is scroll up, and we're going to create a new field. And this is the geolocation field that I mentioned earlier. That's not available within the schema builder. So we'll click on the geolocation, click on next. I'll type in the field label as location, and the decimal place will be 9. Click on next. And let's just make it visible to everybody. Why not? Click on next and save. All right, now that we have our object and all our fields, we are going to click on the page layout and edit the page layout. You'll notice some of the fields didn't actually get onto the canvas. So what we're going to do is do a shift and drag our fields and just rearrange them slightly. Click on save. Awesome. Now let's go to the quick find box and let's create a tab so we can actually view this object. Create tab, and the object is event. And I'll select the little icon. And let's type in a description for this. Event object is simple enough. And we'll click on next. Okay, here we are. We're done. So let's click on new, and here are all the fields for the object we just created. So this is pretty quick. Thank you very much, folks.